Spawning in the upper left here in the teal. His name, you know him, you love him. Versailles Storm. It's special. His opponent in the bottom right in the blue. He's the Danish sensation. It's MAXPAX. All right, so we got the Macarax, or do we even call it a Macarax anymore? Because it's just been so standard in turn play right now. But MAXPAX is doing something weird too. And this is Curious Mind specific. I need to ask Astrea about this. Because I've seen Astrea doing this as well, where you actually get a low ground gateway. And I think it is just to make sure you get your Zealot out ASAP to run across the map. But also because this is a Macarax, that Zealot will not be allowed to run across the map. So I think it is just for pre-warp gate shenanigans. Really. But again, I don't know. This is weird to me. This is very new. This is something that we see very little of. But I'm here for it. All right, so now, of course, we got the bunker behind the mineral line, but because MAXPAX did get that Zealot, and again, this is something that we've seen Trap talking about a little bit, or at least I've heard Trap talking about through Gemini, where he says, look, Terrans are being aggressive enough at this point that it is worth it to go and deny, just start to build a Zealot every game, regardless of whether you need it. If you don't need it, you're scattered out by the time the Zealot completes, and then, well, it doesn't do much of anything, and you're fine. You lost 25 minerals, whatever. But if you do need it, it is nice to have it on the way. You're gonna get it that much faster. But a special gets a couple probes, one at home, two on the other side of the map, so 3 workers total. And look at this though, we got so the probe is dead, but there is always going to be high ground vision. At least there will be for quite a while, which is kind of a boon for not the Zealot, that doesn't care, but for the Adept, for the Stalker that will eventually follow this. It is a boon indeed. And then MAXPAX, if he'd been able to stay around, that would have been shield batteries as well. But for now, MAXPAX knows that, okay, it is Barracks Factory before Command Center. He knows exactly what the composition is, Double Reaper and Hellion, and yeah, he's going to lose these units on the other side of the map, most likely. But it's a good scout. And as the Stalker arrives here, both Reapers go down. The Adept is now dead. Target, of course, the Adept, because the Zealot can't really do anything except be sad. Oh, but a great use of the grenade there. So MAXPAX runs on forward. He gets another Hellion, and this means that any sort of aggression that MAXPAX wanted to do will not be all that successful. But he will trade the Zealot and the Stalker for it at the end of the day. He may not be Faucheurs, but I can tell you, as someone who has struggled with foot problems pretty much since my senior year of high school, I gave myself effectively my feet would always cramp up so hard I would give myself stress fractures. Running barefoot, running with those barefoot shoes. After 7-8 years of trying to find a solution, they solved it. Now I'm only limited by my fitness, not by my feet curling into a ball and trying to die. But now, okay, let's see. Reaper Hellion tries to dive on in, and I mean, Hellion takes 3 shots, Reapers take 6. I think you lift the Hellion, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Both of them will go down. So, MAXPAX, he stays alive, takes no value, but we're gonna have to see how much damage the Widowmine drop finds, because that is the next level of Special's aggression. And technically going Phoenix is great against this. But only if you're paying attention. Only if your Phoenix are in the proper position. So MAXPAX, he's a little late on the pull, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to be fine. We're going to see one worker go down, as is expected. Now, Phoenix beelining their way back on home here. Widowmine going to... Yep, no, it's not even going to burrow. Not even going to burrow. And by the time the Phoenix return, even if it tries to reburrow, even if this lift is spent... Yeah, there we go. We're good. On the other side of the map, that was Stalkers looking for value. What was that? Okay, another Stalker, and... Yeah, I think it was just 2 Stalkers looking for damage on the other side, and one of them went down. Okay. But hey, not sure where that Widowmine came from, but it got 2 kills. That's nice. And do we have an armory? We do. So yeah, there's actually no detection here right now. We're gonna have to wait for either an Oracle, which is supply blocked, even if MAXPAX was going for it, which he wasn't, or for an Observer. So MAXPAX just gonna have to be on top of the pulls in the next minute or so is another one of my drop finding its way on into the main base. This one really should get nothing done. The Phoenix are here, so Widow Mines just get lifted. One of them actually very low, so there we go. That happens in the natural. This gets a little bit more. 5 workers is actually rather respectable. But this is not the... I mean, no, MAXPAX is not an equal worker count to the Terran. There is that, but his third base is on the way now. He's getting into robo play. It's not the best position, really, for MAXPAX, but it's not game-ending either. It's not game-losing. He certainly can fight back from this. And if there is a Protoss player in Europe that is really good at comebacks, in this matchup in particular, his name is MAXPAX, and he's playing for you right now. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's not playing. I think he's probably playing. Who knows? MAXPAX is secretly... I don't know. I'm trying to think of a god-tier European Protoss from back in the day. Anyway, the bio's going to stim on or run on in because stim is not yet done. We're going to see a couple workers go down. Shield battery goes down. The Phoenix here, they should be able to do whatever they want. Oh, Phoenix getting very low, but it's going to be fine. Immortal joining the fray. And yeah, this drop doesn't find much of it. He gets 3 workers. And actually, Special finds himself up workers here. He's up 4. So, allow me to maybe reconsider what I said. But we always got to be worried, right? When a Terran player goes for this heavy drop pressure, and they do damage in drips and drabs. At a certain point, do they trade too much? Well, in this game where Special's going all in, I don't think the answer is yes. Because he's done a great job of keeping MAXPAX's army down, which means, of course, MAXPAX has less stuff, which means it's going to be harder for him to hold the 5 racks all in on the way soon. He killed Hero with this in game number 2 of this Special Hero series. And it looked very good. And also, I believe Hero went Stargate that game, but this game, we're on 8 Phoenix. That does mean these tanks will get lifted, but again, we got to remember the point of this build. I mean, Special is just trying to build an army big enough that he doesn't care if everything's lifted because he's going to crush through regardless. But we're not starting to see those massive supply leads just yet. Now, we will soon because this is 5 racks. And even if there are no add-ons on Barracks 4 and 5, that is a lot of production that MAXPAX does not have that Special does. We're going to have to see just how far Special's going to be able to pull ahead here. Because on the one hand, yeah, he's killed a lot of workers. In fact, he's been up in workers at points. On the other hand, he has traded away a lot of his army to make that happen. And MAXPAX will have Colossus out, 2 Colossus out, maybe even a 3rd by the time this happens. So we're going to have a recall here because I guess there's a drop on the bottom side. Then we'll get that pylon there from MAXPAX. So the Phoenix recall on home. But Special's not big enough. Not yet. All right, so Phoenix are going to show on up here, but I think they got a medevac, but a couple of their number will fall down, and the Phoenix, arguably, they're the second most important unit in the Protoss army right now. Most, of course, is the Colossus, because the Special's doing something like this that is just so heavy on Marines, then the Colossus is going to clean it up with proper control. So, again, that is the most important. SCV's getting pulled here, though. Marauders on that side. Vikings showing on up now, and you don't want to lose these Vikings. You need them to deal with the Colossus play. So, again, Phoenix sharking around, but the army of Special now it's in one place. Now we're looking at a 30-odd army supply lead. At least that's going to happen when these armies do connect. The tanks are probably going to be almost useless because the Phoenix are going to lift them. But look at what Special's doing here. He's dropping a bunch of missile turrets. He's going for the hard push. Once again, he did this to Hero. Let's see if it happens against... Let's see if it works against MAXPAX. And MAXPAX, for now, he's going to have to be careful. He can't really engage too hard. But he's got to make this happen. Because eventually the missile turrets will go on up, and that means these lifts are going to be paltry in comparison to what MAXPAX would like. The supplies, actually, they're starting to equalize pretty heavily here. SDV's starting to go on down. Second line of missile turrets are not going to be what they need to do. With the Phoenix, they dive on in. Tanks getting some damn good shots off. MAXPAX, he does not get the fight he needs just yet. He opens up the army supply once again. But Special, he's got to run by. He's got to deal with on the other side. A couple Zealots into his natural. I mean, Special's all in, but he still doesn't want to deal with that. And that just makes him even further all in. But now Special's going to stem onto the high ground. He says, yes, free Colossus. Gimme. Colossus going on down. But now this is the timing. This is the opportunity for MAXPAX to try to break on through. Zealous getting on top of the tanks. Tanks getting lifted, but the missile turrets are doing a damn good job here. Special, does he have enough of a split, though? That's the question. All the chaff goes down, but are the Colossus, are they strong enough here to hold down the fort? Are they strong enough to kill off the remaining army of Special? That is the question. He's up 20 army supply. The Zealots have been dealt with, and the drop of Special. Now it's in the main base. Now with Shield Battery here, the Vikings, they're not going to be able to chunk away too hard, but again, this Bio, he's a, no, okay, there we go. He's going to get the probes up. I was going to say, targeting this Nexus down, I don't know that that's the play. Zealot's going to get on top of the last of these tanks. So they do go down, but we're going to see one Colossus not going to be targeted properly. But okay, no, the Nexus is down. 14 workers do go down here. Special finds some level of value. And he's going to say that's enough. Time for me to run back on home. I killed a base. So now MAXPAX running across the map here. He's up in army supply. His army is much more powerful than his opponents. I mean, actually, the gas is not super crazy, but the mineral count has started to balloon just a little bit for MAXPAX here. Even as he lost the base, it is still a 2-base all-in from the Terran player. And there are 4 Colossus. We're not at 16 Vikings. We're not even at 12 Vikings. So the question now is whether MAXPAX can break on through, because this is a turtled up Terran. There are a couple tanks here. We do, of course, see the Phoenix go down. The time of the Phoenix is done for the most part, realistically. You don't have that critical mass anymore. You use them to stay alive, and you say, thank you for keeping me alive. I don't need you anymore. +2 on the way. MAXPAX advancing his deck because he does have a... He does, of course, have a third base. We're going to see a bunch of... Oh, that's a lot of dead SCVs. Yeah, especially got to win this fight now because he's not going to have an economy anymore. But he's got a great concave. He's got a great surround here. Colossus are starting to fall. 1 goes down. 2 goes down. But is there enough on the ground remaining for Special to take advantage of it? 3rd one falls. But there is no bio here. Not really. It's what, 2 Marauders, 2 Marines? That does not beat these charge lots. Not at all. The tanks, they're trying to do what they can. And eventually this Colossus may die. That is a risk. That is a sacrifice that MAXPAX is willing to make on the altar of a Game 1 victory. But as I say that, the rally actually from Special is doing a pretty good job here. Stalkers don't fight bio all that well. Zealots, though, they're going to run on in. And there are no bunkers. This is just purely on reinforcements, on SCV pulls, on everything that Special can do to make this hold happen. And folks, I think he's done it. He's going to make the hold happen here. He still has that 3rd base, but it's not going to be enough. MAXPAX has too much on the backside, and he takes Game 1. We got to remember that build, if there's a map it works on, it's Berlingrad, or it's Curious Minds. And because it did not work on Curious Minds, I don't think we see it again in this series. Maybe if Berlingrad happens, maybe if Berlingrad's in the pool, I assume that's what MAXPAX banned though. So I don't know. Maybe if Berlingrad's in the pool, maybe we see it. But otherwise, I think that build goes on the shelf for another day. It got him a win. It killed Hero 2-0, or it killed Hero in the 2nd game, and it's got to be enough. Anyways, folks, I gotta be right back. We're gonna put you on Steadfast's camera and bring it back. Sorry about that, folks. I am back, and I think my headset has died. That's fine. We're good here. We don't need need no stinging headset to cast some star. Well, there's actually no sound going out. No, we're good. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that. Sorry about the chaos. I was confused. I just didn't hear things stopped coming out of my headphones. But we're good now. Banshee play coming out from special in this game. How many probes did he kill? 4 probes and a zealot. So he finds his value. He's only down 2 workers on a Protoss player, which, hey, Chrono's gonna make that happy. But it seems like special's idea in this game, in this team kill, and we gotta remember, team kills, they can be a little weird. It seems like special's idea in this game is just try to kill his opponent early. Try to kill him with harass and not let him go into that late game state. But for now, it hasn't worked in game 1. We're gonna have to see it works in game number 2. 4 Hellions and a Reaper. They find their way onto the main base. Probes are gonna get pulled, but this is just one-shot potential. Ship battery overcharge. Who the hell cares? But oh, look at that. He's picking up the probes. The War Prism being the savior of MAXPAX in this game. And yeah, he gets 6 workers, and that's not great. MAXPAX down on workers compared to his opponent, but oh, it could have been so much more. Oh, line them up. Line them up. MAXPAX will be able to save some, but not all. And, oh, well, yeah, he picks up the wounded probes. This is pretty cool. Rear Looker Dooker. Steadfast has King of Battles in 2 weeks. Why would you try to get him to shave his head? Don't you want Steadfast to look as handsome as possible when he is gracing your screen in a big way? But now, of course, now we got the Banshee running on in. Hellions as well, looking to add their DPS. And MAXPAX, he suffered the damage in game 1. Special did not get quite enough. This game, though, Special did it. Special found the killer move. He killed the damage. He found the damage. 16 workers have died. And this counterattack has to do everything. There's no blink. MAXPAX trying to do what he did to... Who? To Beyond in game 2 of the semifinals. Just going to go blinkless stalker harassment into eventual blink. But he's never going to get blink in this game. Tanks to siege done up. 6 stalkers are going to have to be the savior of MAXPAX. And, well, the War Prism was not able to do so. We all know how good that is. I don't know how good these stalkers are going to be able to do, but for right now, Special's up. He's up 11 workers. He's equal in army. There's 1 tank here really defending most of the mineral line. A second tank maybe is going to go a little bit further forward. There's a couple stalkers. They get left behind to die, and Special's not even going to afford them that honor. That credit. So, Special, he is his natural here. He's got a Raven on the way. Is he adding on... Okay, so it's 2nd and 3rd barracks. He's not going for the all-in just yet. All right, so stalkers arrive and they force an SCV or force an SCV repair, force an SCV pull on the bunker. But again, killing 2 SCVs here, 3 SCVs there is not all that impactful in the state that MAXPAX is in. Because he lost 16 at once. He's down 7 workers. Killing off a worker here or there that are replaceable is not really it. You need to wipe out a... MAXPAX effectively has to wipe out a mineral line right now at once. That'll be the kind of damage. That'll be the kind of degradation of income that MAXPAX needs. But for now, his 3rd base is on the way. Says, I'm just going to try to macro out of this, I guess. I'm not going to break my opponent. That's not really going to work. All right, so Special's got his 3rd base on the way. Drop on the south side eventually. Gonna look for a little bit of damage. Is that drop or is that an add-on from earlier? No, that's the Banshee. Okay, I thought I saw drop go down. Apparently not. No drop actually on the map here. Your caster is lying to you. How dare he? How could he? What a horrible man he must be. Ooh, Raven's gonna drop an auto turret, looking to snipe another observer, but will be unable to do that one. Stalker's doing a good job zoning it out. Has to drop the auto turret just a little bit too soon. Real Looker Dooker. And Kaldor was StarCraft. Kaldor lived in Korea. He cast the GSL Team League, or the GSTL. The GOM StarCraft, or the Global StarCraft Team League, GOM StarCraft. Never remember whether it's G stood for GOM or Global. And he did a bunch of other stuff. And then he burned a lot of bridges, left Korea, and started moving into Heroes, where he is doing stuff right now. All right, so now we're going to see the bio. Oh, look at this round coming on in here from Special's. Got it set up from both sides, and Blink has been expended. Those Stalkers go down. Special now finds himself up 40 army supply. There's a Colossus out, and Colossus are powerful defensive units. Sure, there's actually going to be a second, but I think there is going to be enough energy on this Raven to be able to even prevent that one from happening. Yeah, there's enough for at least one disable here. So the Raven is going to knock down one of these Colossus. Banshee goes down. That's going to be nice. Here, Colossus is moving on forward. Second one here. Actually, MAXPAX is going to go try to save the Colossus from the disable, but he's not going to be successful in doing so. One Colossus gets disabled. Second one is still here. Second one's still fighting, but it's starting to lose its HP. And here's the thing. Extended Thermal Lance not done until just about right. Actually, not even. I thought it was done just right now, but no, not even that. And there's no charge. So it is so hard for MAXPAX to take this engagement down 40 supply that I think this is just going to do it. This really should do it here. We're going to see MAXPAX try to take the fight. Zealots in the front. They cannot charge, but at least they can maybe eat some tank shots, but they do not get on top of the tanks. The tanks are firing strong. Vikings, they're just adding a little bit more tickle damage here. Keeping the Colossus dead. Keeping the Colossus down. Third one pops on up, and 3 Colossus are great. They're not 50 army supply. Great. That's not really going to work out here. MAXPAX, he's trying to figure out some way, trying to think desperately that there's some way he can come back in this game, but I mean, the micro's good. Even the Colossus are alive, but folks, I can't. I don't know what to tell you. This is not going to work out for MAXPAX here. I give him credit for trying. Thinking maybe I can pull a Ryung. I mean, Ryung had a massive comeback against Zest on this map. Maybe I can do it the other way around. We had one Terran player do a massive comeback against the Protoss. Now maybe it's the time for the Protoss to do the comeback against the Terran. But it's 50 army supply. It's upgrades. It's tech. MAXPAX has lost production. Vikings are going to run on forward. Just take some pot shots. Force the Colossus back here. And actually, I like this. They're targeting the warp. They're targeting the warp prism down. Not actually able to prevent the warp prism from dropping, but now the bio's going to stim on forward. We do, of course, see the shield battery go down here. There's nothing defending the Colossus. One of them goes down. Second one goes down. Charge is now done. This is MAXPAX's last hope. His last dream, maybe, but unfortunately, it's just a waking nightmare. MAXPAX, he falls. Special takes game 2, folks. We haven't even series. Okay, so Special has done 2 rather aggressive builds. Game 1, game 2. Game 1, he went for a 5 racks. It didn't work. He found damage. He did a good job to getting into MAXPAX's mineral line, getting damage done, but he traded his army for it. And he would have been fine kind of defensively, just hanging around, taking his third, I think. But trying to go aggressive off that when he went for this all-in that really relies on a massive army supply lead, and he was only at a moderate army supply lead, it didn't work out. And then MAXPAX was able to get his Colossus out. He was able to run across the map, was able to kill his opponent. So let's see what happens as we move into game number 3 here, because well, game 2 was the heavy commitment, right? We had Banshees, we had Proxy Reapers, and he killed 16 workers, and he said, well, MAXPAX, you're kind of dead. MAXPAX was. He made a game out of it, but he was dead. So now what is Special up to in this game? Everything looks standard thus far, but it's just, okay, it's going to be Hellion drops. Game number 3, MAXPAX, or Special saying, the best way to beat MAXPAX is, again, it's early aggression. It's getting into his mineral line. It's not allowing him to build into that strong mid-game setup that he is so good at. And, I've heard people talking about how, MAXPAX's PVT is not incredible. Like, it's okay, it's good, but it's not. If his PVT was at the level of his other matchups, he would be even better than he is. And that's fair, as this adept flies on in. But I would like to amend that statement, because I don't think this should get really much of anything done. I'd like to amend that statement slightly and say, no, it is not that his PVT that it is bad. His early game specifically, his gameplay from like 0 to 7 minutes, 0 to 6 minutes, just feels a little bit shaky. As MAXPAX has looked for the scout, he didn't go far enough. Oh, that's unfortunate. And I said, yeah, this is going to be Hellion drops. Answer is no. It will not be Hellion drops. But, oh, okay, MAXPAX should get the scout here now, right? Yeah. Use the tech lab. There we go. Okay. So he sees the proxy banshees. This should allow him to defend appropriately. We have, of course, observers on the way. And actually, he's going to send stalkers north to try to cancel the cloak. That's going to be rather nice for him. Maybe if he can prevent the banshees from being rather annoying. because his route to winning games is preventing his opponent from getting the damage. As long as that happens, he's pretty happy. There we go. Cloak will get denied. One Banshee will pop out, but we will not have two, which means no one-shot potential. These Marines on the other side, I guess they scout the Blinkus here. I guess they scout the third base. That's it. That's all they got. All right, so now here comes the push here from Special. Again, similar idea that we saw from game number one. You pull some SCVs, you just go for the middle push, right? You're not pulling your entire mineral line and hoping something happens. The Banshee starts to find value here as well, but Stalkers will be able to handle this one. The question is whether they can deal with what happens at the front. An Immortal has its hardened shield popped. It's going to be mostly fine for now, but now the bunker's going up. Special uses this almost not only as a way to, okay, well, if I get these up, it's going to be great for me, but also as a way to kind of force the Protoss player to fight before the Protoss player is ready. So by getting these bunkers, it kind of means that MAXPAX has to fight before the bunker's complete. Otherwise, it becomes 10 times harder for that to happen. But Stalkers are going to blink on backwards. They're going to look for reinforcements here, but that's actually, well, yeah, that's going to be a dead Stalker. You got to target it down, though. So Stalker goes down, not really getting the reinforcements he wants, and it's only 2 Stalkers now. Bunkers are complete. So this hard push becomes even harder here as we got a Banshee in the natural, finding a little bit more value. 2 more workers do go down. Now the bunkers continue to run on forward here. Cyclone is going to look for the lock-on on the... There we go. It gets the lock-on on the Immortal, but it gets tagged as well, so it's not going to be able to do all that much. But a third bunker on the way. Liberator sieging up the third base here. Special looking to become an octopus. Constrict his opponent, and he's going to take the opportunity. The Stalkers are not there. He says, well, time for me to go do something about it. Find my way into the natural, maybe. Find 2 Immortals, maybe, but he's got to knock down the shield battery first, and that is going to be enough. The Immortals firing strong, killing enough Marines. That for now, Special says, I kind of need to back on up here. And we don't have a lot of his rally on the way right now. He's marginally worried about his rally getting caught on off, so instead he's kind of bulking it up. Actually, look at that. Special's, he went for the bunkers. It didn't, I mean, he got these 3 bunkers up. He's got a supply depot as well. That's just free money. That's just free real estate that MAXPAX can take advantage of. I mean, we're going to see them get salvaged. One died. No, ooh, got the salvage, actually. So, 2 got the salvage off, 1 died. Supply depot went down. MAXPAX is not taking that much damage. He's kind of fine. Yeah, his worker count is not incredible, but he does have 3 bases. Special does not. Special adding in 2 additional barracks because he's going to turn this into a 5 racks. And this feels very much shades of game 1, where... Actually, even worse. As that Banshee goes down. This feels very much shades of game number 1, right? Where MAXPAX, he just kind of held the pressure from Special, and it didn't work out for him. And then he eventually died because the tech of the Protoss player became too powerful. All right, so the army running across the map here. This is a big army here for Special, but MAXPAX, he's equal on army supply. Special went for a 5 racks all in, and his opponent is matching him on that supply count. Yeah, sure, there's not enough splash right now, but DTs have warped on into the main base. Scans are going to get forced, and well, the Warp Prism goes down, so the DTs don't get too much, but actually even just killing army at this point is rather nice. You're forcing scans when your opponent all in is very nice indeed. 1 Colossus is here, and does not have extended thermal lance, but that does it. Well, ooh, that's a lot of bio here. And SCVs are doing a pretty good job of forming a wall. So 17 SCVs have gone down here. Special is truly all in. But this is still a difficult army for MAXPAX to fight, regardless of the fact that he has equal army supply. It's not the easiest thing. He only has one Colossus. External Thermalant's not even on the way. DTs will force a scan here, which again is less mining here for Special to continue the reinforcements. And now the Zealots, they're going to run on in. They're looking for something. And look at this, the Colossus, they're getting all the Marines down, but the tanks survive. The Bio stimming on in here. Does the Colossus have what it takes to hold things off? The Protoss army started to look really small. It looked like MAXPAX had the hold, but at the end of the day, well, maybe this extra Colossus, maybe that's going to be enough. Maybe that's going to make MAXPAX have his hold and eat it too. But for now, Special, he's looking pretty scary here. His army is powerful. He's broken the third base. Soldiers continue to find their way on in. Tanks are going to start to fall now. Missile turret is not really useful all that much. And Special's in the, well, maybe if I get enough economy, I can make this work stage of the game. And he killed 21 workers. He makes it so he's only down twice as many workers, not 3 times. I think maybe, I don't know that he could have stemmed on the Colossus. But I think that's the play. If he had, that would have been the game ender. But he was not able to do so. Now MAXPAX is on 2 Colossus once again. DT's warping on in. Special doesn't really feel, I can't imagine he feels like he can afford too many scans, because again, he's only on 27 workers. But the game does go on. Special finds himself at a minor army supply lead, and it's funny. Special had the stronger army in that last fight, on even supply. I think Special now is the weaker army on up supply at this point, because he just doesn't have quite the critical mass of bio to prevent the army from running on in. And we're going to see a DT go on down here as the fight kicks off in the middle of the map. Stalkers, though, they blink on backwards. We get a medevac. That's always going to be rather nice. But with 2 Colossus to 1 Viking, and really, it's only 2 tanks. It's not a big tank count. Charge now done. MAXPAX is much more tech. The longer this goes, I mean, he's mining so much more than his opponent is, as that DT will go down. But again, it's a scanned force. That's 250 minerals that Special does not want to spend. So we have, what are those, Stalkers on the backside? Yeah, no, Zealots on the backside here, looking for a full 360, full 180. Sure, yeah, absolutely that. They're just going to get reinforcements instead, which I think MAXPAX is going to be okay with. Again, he just needs time. Time is his friend. It is Special's enemy. So Special says, okay, let's kick this thing off right here, right now. Let me stay out of the natural, but force fields are damn good. Special's going to save the bio here over the force fields with the medevacs, but there's just not enough. There's not enough. The army of MAXPAX stands strong. He's up 2-1, and folks, he's on tournament point. What it looks like, Special's going to drop his command center, not perfectly square, but again, command centers can lift. You don't really care. He just doesn't want to have it delayed by the probe, which opens it up to Adept Harass, maybe, especially considering that this is a Marine opener, so there's not going to be a Reaper on the... Well, actually, I'm sorry. I said it was a Marine opener, but yes, it is. But this is Marine into Reaper. Interesting. This might open up some damage here, right? Because if there's a Reaper opener, you keep your Adept at home. You say, yeah, well, I need to deal with the Reaper. I can't run across. But if it's a Marine opener, you say, okay, sure, yeah, let me send the Adept across. That sounds like fun. We send the Zealot across first too here. I don't think MAXPAX needed a Zealot this game, but he's just doing MAXPAX things, and most importantly, he will scout the Reaper. It means the Adept does have to stay home, or at least does have to tango with the Reaper. Can't run across the map and put pressure on the orbital or the command center that's being built just yet. By the time the Reaper's dead, won't really be able to do so. Ooh, Zealot almost getting a shot, but now Adept is going to force the Reaper back here. It does allow the Zealot to continue on. Do we have a Stalker get made? No, we don't. So, double Adept. Okay, very interesting. It feels like these early pressure builds from MAXPAX, for the most part, have been Zealot, Adept, Stalker, and just kind of climbing the tech chain. In this game, it's Zealot, Reaper, or a Zealot, Adept, and 1 Adept at home defensively. Which is fair. If you don't think you're going to get much done, don't commit to the Stalker early. That's gas you could spend on other things. But also, MAXPAX has a rather quick robo. Shades of what he did to Bjorn. Although I guess he does have his Twilight done, so his blink is on the way. Not insane. Not the whole, oh, let me skip my Twilight for a while just so I can pretend that I have blink and get greedy behind it. Which, I mean, it worked out. He killed Bjorn, but... All right, oh, nice grenade there, though. MAXPAX not pulling himself back, which is kind of when you have the grenades, you pull your units back a little bit, which means that even if the grenade pops, there's not an opening. But even still, 2 workers will go down. That'll be the extent of it. It's only 2 Hellions, and they will go down. So MAXPAX, he takes some amount of damage. His probes actually need to return to mining. There we go. But not the end of the world. It's fine. All right, so what am I going to find its way on in here? Ooh, MAXPAX a little slow on the pull. Downtown, not downtown. We're not going to see what's happening downtown. We saw the tracer there. It was like, oh, MAXPAX? I thought he was going to go for the split. He didn't, so he loses 3 probes. But 3 probes for 3 Widow Mines, although the medevac and 2 Widow Mines get out. So there is damage potential there for later on, as we're going to see a random Widow Mine running across the map, and it's dead. It got something. Maybe got one of the... Okay, I think it got the Zealot, it got the Adept, something like that. But now MAXPAX spilling across the map. Oh, does he get the medevac? He gets the Widow Mine. There we go. He gets the low one. Oh, he's getting both. Very nice. Does not get the medevac, which is the more valuable unit, but at least he knocks down some of the defensive utility of a special in this game, because now what are we at? We are at 3 Gate Blink here. Dark Shrine on the way. Also, a Robo Bay on the way here. MAXPAX committing pretty heavily to a lot of different tech. But if even one of it works, he's going to be pretty happy. There's the Raven, though. So, theoretically now, DT should not get much done. But just what happens in theory is not exactly what happens in practice. The question, though, is when does MAXPAX take the 3rd base? All right, now Starkers are going to blink on in here. Tank is going to start shelling away, so they can't get too close. Ideally, they get the Raven. Because we do know that Special most likely he is... Oh, he gets the Raven. There we go. So now the DTs, they have a little bit more activity here. Starkers playing on forward. This might actually tell Special that, wait a minute, that was a lot of Stalkers to lose to snipe a Raven. So he may start saving scan energy again, but scan's getting forced here. Ooh. Folks, I don't wish to bring you alarm. I do not wish to sing tales of doom that have not yet been sung, but Special's only going to have 1 scan. He's only going to have 1 scan. Now, MAXPAX will let him know what's happening. He's going to put DTs in the main of the natural. But, yeah, this is the problem. Scan here on the main base. Oh, they're going to get saved. They're going to get saved here. So that means there is very little detection. Yeah, missile turret's going on down, but that's not going to do all that much. Missile turret here. MAXPAX is going to target this one down here as well. You got to keep the missile turret down, or you got to get the Warp Prism down, I guess. And there we go. DTs, they're not even going to kill off the things that are building it. They're just going to kill the missile turret. So now there is no detection here for Special. He's got to wait for a 2nd scan to pop up. Now he's got it. But the Warp Prism is in a pretty good shape here. So one DT goes down. But that's about it. And there is room for more. No scan here on the natural. We're not going to have any detection for Dog's Age. Yeah, sure, there's good body blocking. And there is a missile turret now in the main base. Special doing a good job with that one. But look at this on the other side of the map. Special finding commensurate damage. MAXPAX not paying attention here. He was looking on the other side of the map. And 18 workers go down. All the value that MAXPAX found. Value that was pretty much game ending, to be totally honest. Special swings on through. On the other side, he does things, and DTs, they can't find the spot they're looking for, but he's going to force a cancel on the 3rd base. Scan forced. At the end of things, where do we stand? Because that was... Those 8 Marines kept Special in this game. Those 8 Marines gave him a fighting chance to do something. Because otherwise he was going to be too far down. He was going to be below 30 workers. Well, that's not true. He was going to be at 40 odd workers when his opponent was at 60 and up a base. So now where are we at? MAXPAX. Extended Thermal Lance just about done. Charge on the way. He's on 2 Colossus. Soon to be 3. So this push from Special is not likely to get all that much done, right? There are 3 tanks, and that's nice. But there are no Vikings. Nothing to really get on top of the Colossus. And Extended Thermal Lance done by the time this push really shows on up here. Now, the problem for MAXPAX, realistically, is there's nothing here to actually soak for these Colossus. So if Special's paying attention, if he thinks he can do it, he can maybe jump on top of these. But even still, 3 Colossus is a lot of DPS, especially against these Marines. So they're all going to fall. +1 on the way here for MAXPAX right now. Charge will finish up by the time that Special shows his way on the map the next time. Is what we have there in the main base. Or Prism trying to get something done. Ooh! Ooh, yeah, good job there. Special's gonna find it. He's got the flank in from the side, so no counterattack potential, no pressure coming in from MAXPAX for just a little bit longer. We're gonna have to see if he chooses to spend some robo build time on another warp prism or, well, where he goes. But for now, he's adding on the additional gateways. Charge is done. His +1 will not be done for the time of this next push, but charge is rather nice. It just buys time. It means that the Colossus can free fire from far away. And a couple DTs are warping in as well. Okay, just for Archons. Smart move there, actually. You know your opponent's all in, because you know that there's no third. So you just buy things that buffer the tank shots. You just buy things that buffer the everything else shots here. So now the Colossus are going to look to run on in, but these are 4 tanks. The first one, ooh, it's huge up in an awkward spot here. Stark should be able to kill this one off, but the bio rotates on over. Stark is in the high ground. A shield battery overcharge is going to keep them alive for now. They're going to do damage to a Marauder, not kill it off. And MAXPAX should lose this gateway, this Cyber. So we're going to have to see another Cyber get remade. But in all fairness, we care more about the gateway than anything else. Stalkers are not the most important component of this hold for MAXPAX anymore. It is all about the Zealots and the Colossus. It's not like there are a ton of Vikings or something like that. And Special, he loves his hard pushes. He's doing it again. Bunkers going down, missile turrets going down here as he says, yeah, I just got to make something happen. Stalkers, they're going to blink on over, just past the tank range, it looks like, as the gateway finally goes down. But MAXPAX is starting to, he's got a decent setup here. His upgrades are done. He's not going to move until forced. It looks like he's going to wait for these disruptors to pop on out so he can start picking away at the siege. And then, well, he's going to wait for Special to move on forward. So disruptors are going to knock down an SCV. That's going to prevent one bunker from going up at least for a moment. Now, oh, this is when things get dicey because the tanks are kind of zoning everything off here. It's pretty hard for MAXPAX to take this engagement to move on through that natural because actually the gateway going down is going to be a boon for him. But now the bio is going to look to move on in. A second disruptor should pop out any second now, but not if the robo goes down. So the robo is dead. It will be one disruptor defensively to save the game here for MAXPAX. The bio looking to stim on in. MAXPAX has some Zealots on the other side. They're doing a pretty good job of knocking down reinforcements. This position from Special, his base, we'll call it that, his base here on MAXPAX's side of the map is really hard to break. But here we go, going on in on the position here. Zealots from the backside, Colossus from the front side here, going on in the bunkers. They're not filled. It really is just a spot to mess with the Zealots. So the bio's dead, actually. The bunkers are going to get bounced around, and look at that, MAXPAX messing around with things. But the Vikings, they're standing strong, and I don't believe a Cybercore was ever, no, it was remade. Okay. So the Colossus go down. This drop is going to get cleaned on up. MAXPAX now, he's got to deal with what's happening in the natural. He's got to warp in more stuff here because the Zealots are not all that great for now. The Colossus is falling. It's dead. But pretty soon this is going to be 1-1 or 1-1 gateway units. And that's not the most incredible thing, but it's not horrendous as the bunkers. Quickly moving out of bunkers, into bunkers, out of bunkers, into bunkers. And Special's done it. The army supply is too small. I feel like MAXPAX had to take the fight when his charge was done, when his +1 was done, before the scary position that Special made was there. But he felt he could hold with the disruptors. He couldn't, but he thought he could. And now, as the tanks siege on up here, this is going to be the last gasp of MAXPAX in this game. And folks, we're in space. There is no breathing, no room for a last gasp. Special, he's up 40 supply. His army supply is pretty much untouchable. And I do declare, we're going to get to go to a game number 5. We get a 5th game of these two players. That's pretty exciting. I mean, that being said, so look at this another way. Special's on 2 bases. He pulled a lot of SCVs. He wasn't mining all that much with them. He was building things. And he's only on 2 command centers. He only is on double mules. MAXPAX is even on workers, which is really not the best spot for a Protoss player to be. But it's not like he fell down to 25 workers or something. If he's going to be able to get some splash units out, if he's able to... Again, he doesn't really have a robo. Well, he has... No, he didn't have that rebuild yet. So he doesn't really have a robo, right? So he's going to have to rely on Archons and charge lots and things like that. And having an upgrade lead is nice, but he needs 2-3 more warpins. That's gonna be a free Marauder. That's always gonna be tasty. And DT's on the other side in the natural. They're going to cut down on the mining here of Special a good deal. So 8 workers do go down, but there's a drop on the main base. Does MAXPAX respond to this one? He does. Doesn't really lose much of anything. 13 workers go down. SCV's actually getting pulled to defend the DTs. Is not a situation that a Terran ever wants to be in. So MAXPAX will retake his natural. This is the army supply lead. It's no longer a 40. Now it's 30. Special's technically mining more, but that's going to change pretty soon as the third base gets replaced once again because MAXPAX is up 10 workers. And I feel like the play may not even be I mean, disruptors are amazing. But I feel like if just maybe MAXPAX gets a bunch of immortals to deal with the marauders, that may be what he wants. But okay, it will be disruptors on the way here. MAXPAX spreading up, looking for a fight. These 5 tanks are the terrifying thing. If he can get zealots on top of the tanks, that's going to be the goal. But I don't see how he can here. And oh man, you don't want to lose these Archons. That's a big problem. One's going to go down, even with the shield battery overcharge. A little bit of a missed micro there from MAXPAX. He's going to try to make this hold happen. Stalkers, they're going to try to get on top of these tanks. They can't even blink on top. They are going to get evaporated here. What do? The tanks with shots? That's nice. You got to do more. So now Zealot's going to run around. But again, it's just 5 tanks. 5 tanks are the problem here for MAXPAX in this game. If you can find a way around it, it's going to be great. But I don't believe he will be able to do so. I think he loses this base once again. And certainly the upgrade lead that he has is gone. It's gone in 10 seconds. MAXPAX just waiting. He says maybe with another warp and I can do something here. Maybe, just maybe, I can make something happen. Zealots on the backside, Zealots on the front side. This is MAXPAX's only hope in this game, and it's just not going to work. He's got to run around He's got to run around the doodads. Special takes the game that was promised to him. We're going to game 5. In the bottom left here, in the teal. He's got one idea, and it's working out so far. He's Special. His opponent on the north side of the map here in the red. Looking to hold it off. It's MAXPAX. So again, as we've been saying, Special, he just wants to kill his opponent before MAXPAX gets too powerful. Or he's got the other read that says, honestly, MAXPAX's early game is a bit weak. It's a bit gimmicky. I can exploit it. And I mean, he has been. Even in the game, well, I guess there was one game that MAXPAX just kind of held off and was fine. But even in game 1, that I believe that MAXPAX did, or the first game that MAXPAX won. Yeah, in game 1, Special did a lot of damage. It looked like he was going to win, but his follow-up was incorrect. His follow-up was incorrect, and then he wasn't able to capitalize properly. I mean, he got a lot of workers, but he went for a 5 racks all in, and he traded off too much army early, so his army was just not big quite enough. So we've seen 3 games now where MAXPAX has taken tremendous damage in the early game from what Special wanted to do. And then, well, it became a problem. Okay, so I actually really like this for MAXPAX. He's opening up Stargate in this game. And remember, there was I mean, he did win the only, yeah, he did, right? He won the only other Stargate game in this series, but considering what Special's been doing with Banshee play and Widowmine drops and Hellion drops and all of this stuff in the early game, going Phoenix play. Going Phoenix play, it just protects you for most of it. Does not protect you from a 6-minute stim. The Young build, as it were, but pretty much protects you from everything else. Now they look to dive on in here before the Phoenix come out in earnest, but we're going to see some of the stuff go down, and there we go. Okay, so now there's no one-shot potential, which means the Adept will be able to chase down the Hellion, and the other Hellion just going to go die to the Stalker. There we go. So we're seeing the advantage. We're seeing the utility of the build that MAXPAX has gone for. It didn't work out for him at all. He traded away a lot of stuff. Probes are actually going to get pulled here, and you got to be careful here, especially you don't want to lose this Hellion for nothing. Oh, no, he's going to get 2 workers. 1 worker. He's going to get 1 worker. Okay. That's something. Oh, there we go. Look at this Phoenix on the other side. They got a lift on the Cyclone, but there are Marines here, and SCV's being pulled to repair. So the Cyclone should not go down, and, well, it's going to be unfortunate for MAXPAX. If he had a Stalker, it would have gone down, but a Zealot just does not. The Zealots don't shoot up. The Zealot's just kind of jumping there, hoping, like, let me go. Look, I got him, boss. I got him. But no, he cannot reach the heights that the Phoenix lift up to. But now here comes the Adept. Now here comes the Phoenix, and MAXPAX actually trying to put on some significant pressure here with the Stalker, with the Adept. That's actually maybe a little bit too much for this army of Special to deal with, as long as the Cyclones get lifted. But no. MAXPAX returns home, and folks, I have big news. Oh, well, the Banshee. The big news is the Banshee's in the natural of MAXPAX. It's going to find some value. I don't believe it has Cloak. No, it does not. Which means it's going to get 3 workers and it's going to get killed. Special's taking his 3rd base. He's going for a quick 3rd in this game. He is not all-inning. He's not going for insanely committed pressure in some wild attempt to keep his opponent down. And I think it's fair. In 5 games, it's worked twice. It hasn't worked twice. Or we can argue it's worked 3 times, but one of those times it worked, MAXPAX made a good comeback. But his opponent has also gone Phoenix play. A lot of these early aggressive builds just don't work well against us. So Special's showing some flexibility in his play. It's going to work on out for him. His Cyclones, Special actually going. Yeah, Special's going triple Cyclones. He's not going mech, is he? You know what? He might be. This is 4 gas. I think Special's going mech here. This is cool. Game number 5 for all the marbles. He's going mech. It worked against Hero, but I don't think he went mech. I think mech was a transition after he found value, because he was only on triple gas there. But only after just the way the game was going. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm keeping this stuff alive. It makes sense. We will see the Phoenix go down, and the army we're looking to run across the map. There we go. 2nd and 3rd factory on the way, folks. In game number 5, with everything to play for, Special says the best way for me to win this PvT against MAXPAX is to go for mech. To get those good old mechanized units, and hope that I've trained MAXPAX to be afraid enough to cut enough corners defensively, or to, I guess, lean into defensive standings so much that I'm going to be okay with it, that I'm going to be able to get away with it. And then I'm going to be able to build this 150, 200 supply of mech goodness. And I'm going to be able to kill my opponent. Now, that's, I think, the 3rd observer that's gone down. 2nd observer that's died in this game. So, MAXPAX keeps trying to get a scout. He keeps being unable to get a scout. That's unfortunate. But he is also going really early disruptors. And I mean, that is one way to deal with at least moderate tank counts. There comes a point where it just, you get in range at all and everything goes down. But before then, you can send double disruptor shots off and they kill tanks. And it's a good way to keep your opponent in check. But no, okay. Folks, buckle in. Grab a pillow maybe. Grab a nice blanket. Because this game's going a little bit longer, I think. MAXPAX's response is a 2nd Stargate. MAXPAX's response is a fleet beacon. Looks like he's going carriers here. Carrier disruptor. All right, so disruptor shots, they're going to knock down. They're going to knock down the Hellions, so they're not going to get too much of anything. I mean, it takes 3 shots. There we go. Stalker defensively, but there we go. Carriers are on the way, +1 air on the way. Your Phoenix are going to get scanned out, and, well, they're not going to go down, but they get scanned out. They take some, at least one of them takes hefty damage. Actually, I guess the Phoenix did die. Okay. But this game is going to be long. Both players, they say, okay, well, I mean, MAXPAX is effectively saying, yeah, you're playing mech, I'm going to play Protoss mech. That's what I'm going to do. And he will be, that's what he's going to do. But maybe Special's he's at 150 supply. His 1-1, or his +1, excuse me. He got double, interesting. He got double armory, but only got 1 upgrade. He only got +1 attack. I feel like that's a mistake. I feel like this was meant to be a 1-1 timing. Or did he only get single armory? No, he got double armory. Yeah, this is a mistake. Oh, you know what he did? He queued up both upgrades on the single armory because he didn't wait it on one army finished first. That is unfortunate. It does take a little bit of the strength out of this push, but we got to remember a lot of the strength in this, or a lot of the D push here is in disruptors, which really don't care about disruptors at all, or don't care about upgrades at all. They are spellcasters. So there is that, but Special pushing on in here. He's got a lot of tanks, although they're gonna, oh no, good disable there with the Raven. Nice job there, Special. Did not see that one coming, but now he's pushing on in again, adding missile turrets. It's the same idea. It's just a couple minutes later. Hard push coming on in, and this is the problem. Disruptors can be good against tanks, but only to a certain extent. Eventually, they just start to be at this point where they die. The moment they get even remotely close, they just die. Now the tank's moving on forward here, looking to put pressure on this base. More and more missile turrets going on up. And MAXPAX, first of all, he's supply blocked. Second of all, he's about to be unsupply blocked because Hellions are in his mineral line and just wiping out everything. They're pulled onto the gas, and that's actually the worst possible situation because they're just really clumped on up here. But MAXPAX is going for anti and pulse crystals. He's enabling his Phoenix to be more powerful, but he just gets another Tempest here. This fourth base will go down. There's no save in it for MAXPAX. He's not even trying. And Special's maxed out. It means he actually can't build the Thors that he wants to make. He's got 2. He's going to have 3, I think. Special needs to find a way to trade away some of this army. Because he does need these Thors. Capital ships. Thors aren't really your best friends unless there are just massive disruptor counts that make it hard. Special's left a couple tanks behind as the anti-pulse crystals on these Phoenix do make it kind of hard for the Vikings to take the fight. Auto turrets are going to get dropped here, all 3 of them, as the Ravens do go down. But Kyrie's actually doing a pretty good job of fighting this one. Especially, he's still maxed out. Now, he's still building more Vikings, but he's only on 4 right now, and does not have any air upgrades. Well, he has armor, but he doesn't have any attack. And now the Phoenix, they're just going to reign supreme. Vikings can't really fight this. Yeah, they outrange the Phoenix even still, but it's not the easiest thing. So Special's going for a counterattack. He's got his Thors on the high ground. He will probably lose this base unless he can force him off it. But we're going to see 1 carrier go down. Thor's high and back payload mode. Sure, but it's +1 air. These things kill, they kill units on the ground pretty damn quickly. So the Thors are starting to go on down. It's a base trade of mech versus Protoss mech, effectively. We're going to have to see how this one really works on out here. MAXPAX, he's got a 4th base. He's got a spot that I don't know that Special is aware of. And Special's about to have his production camps. From the big supply lead, now he's down a bit. And we got to remember, these carriers, they own the day. There are 4 carriers on the map, 4 Tempests on the map. There is 1 Thor. There is 1 Viking. Without anti-air, the Special cannot take this fight, cannot take this game, because eventually MAXPAX kills all the production and he recalls back on home. So Special says, I got to make something happen here. But there are defensive carriers. 3 defensive carriers have been made. MAXPAX, it feels like he just got the checkpoint. He was able to rush, the checkmate. Feels like he was just able to rush his tech up just a little bit too fast. And there we have it, MAXPAX in 5 games. He downloads Special. He uploads him. He uploads his loss to the cloud. And he's your champion of EPTNA 11932 over Special.